It's finally summer. You want to get into the Summerween vibes, you want to read some horror books, you want to read some spooky books, but you just don't know where to start. Well, I got some recommendations for you. Starting out right with some thrillers, I have In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This is a book that has come out a few years ago, but it still hits. I think it's a great thriller. It's a college reunion. We have a murder that happened in the past, and we are trying to find out who the real culprit is. There's some romance. There are two timelines, the past timeline and the present timeline. And it just has all the right college vibes, the right Halloween vibes. And I think that this is a really entertaining thriller with a good payoff at the end. My other thriller recommendation is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Riley Sager has some bangers. He also has some giant misses, but I think that The Only One Left is an actually really good thriller book. It has all the right atmosphere. It has a house, a very haunted house set on a cliff. It has some great twists all throughout, and we have a very compelling plot with a lot of plot twists. It's very entertaining. It's a little bit long, but I think that it's well worth the read. I thought it was so much fun, and I devoured it the summer that I read it. If you want some shorter reads, I have two novellas for you. The first one is a very popular one, but if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. This is a slow descent into madness type of book. The atmosphere ramps up as you read it. It gets creepier and creepier and creepier, very dreamlike, very nightmare-like. And it was also adapted into a movie, so you can do a double feature, you can read it, and then you can watch the movie, and that sounds like the perfect Summerween plan. Next up, in terms of novellas, I have Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. Samantha Schweblin is a very, very interesting writer. This is a book about poison, also about family, about grief. It packs a lot into the short amount of pages that there is, but this is a really creepy, surreal one that I highly recommend that you read. If you're not afraid of getting into a longer book, I would highly recommend The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Greta Hendricks. This is a book that I would reread every summer if I could. I've already reread this book 3 or 4 times in the last couple of years, and it does not miss. It has a very slow start, but it's so deliberate. It really feels like the first act of a horror film where things don't feel quite right, but it's still not outright horror, but it gets very gruesome very fast. There's a lot involved in this one. Not just in the horror department, but also a lot of commentary about what it means to be a housewife, a mother, especially in the 90s. And it's perfect for summer because I think it's Arizona or something like that. So where this book is set is so hot, you can feel the heat creeping up, and it just makes it so much more creepy. I don't know, like creepy things in broad daylight in the summer just makes it that much scarier than when it's actually dark, in my opinion. And this book is just so much fun. It's also quite devastating at times. It's just a perfect mix of a horror book. Then a book with a really great atmosphere as well is The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is a book about a group of Boy Scouts that are camping at the beach. They find a man that clearly has a problem, and I think that the problem starts to spread to the Boy Scout troop. It's mixed media. We have a timeline in the present, we have interviews, we have newspaper articles, and then we have the one at the moment where things are said. And it just has the perfect summer camping just atmosphere, and it's so creepy. There's a lot of body horror in this one, but if you're someone who is looking for that in their books, and this is definitely the one for you. Then I have a broad recommendation of an author, Stephen Graham Jones, but more specifically, I have The Only Good Indians, and then My Heart is a Chainsaw. My Heart is a Chainsaw is a slasher. It's a tribute. It's honoring the horror genre in itself. It's very meta. I really enjoy this one, even though it was a little bit confusing, but it's also a trilogy if you want to binge read all of them. And then The Only Good Indians was actually the first book that I read by this author, and I really enjoyed this one. It's very much more metaphorical. It's also a tribute to Indigenous culture and heritage as well, because Stephen Graham Jones is part Native, I think. So it's very interesting. I really, really enjoyed this one, and I think that you just can't go wrong with the Stephen Graham Jones. He also has a lot of new books out recently, so I think that you just can't go wrong when you read him. My last recommendations for people that are really not afraid of a very long book this Summerween, I have Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. This book is incredible. I love the writing of Mariana Enriquez. This is a book about a cult, about a father, about a son. It's very religious. It's very creepy. I think it's a really fresh take on a cult, actually. And I love what Mariana Enriquez did with this book. And I just love it a lot. And I think it's a great recommendation despite it being a huge book to read in Summerween. All right, so those are my Summerween recommendations. I will also be building my own TBR for this Summerween, so let me know what recommendations you have, and I hope that you enjoy getting spooked this season.